All right, well, my faulty unboxing did me a disservice. But anyhow, we're gonna put this exhaust pipe guard on today. So not much of a unboxing thing video, but hey, you know, it is what it is. Anyhow, the unboxing didn't work out the way I wanted to. I had some camera issues, but it's unboxed. You guys don't need to see all that. Anyhow, this actually is a matte finish. It looks like the welds are really nice on it, and it's a pretty good quality piece. So we're gonna go ahead and throw that on the bike right now. So we did get instructions with this, and we'll see how those translated over, but it looks like we got pictures, so that'll keep us out of trouble. Tools you're gonna need for this install is an extension, a ratchet, doesn't have to be a powered one. You don't even need to have a ratchet if you don't want it. 12mm wrench, 12mm socket, something to undo that push pin, and a Japanese industrial standard screwdriver or just a Phillips screwdriver. Just be careful you don't strip the head out on the Phillips screw. And I forgot the most important thing. The stuff that makes me feel warm and fuzzy, Loctite. Okay, to start off, we're gonna go after this push button dealy-magadget. I don't know what you call them, push pins or whatever, but we're gonna go after that. We're gonna take that off. And then from there, we've got a Phillips screw that is right there. I recommend using a JIS, a Japanese Industrial Standard screwdriver, if you have it. And if you're not familiar with those, in Japan they have kind of a different head and they fit tighter, and you'll tend to strip out less screws that way. So JIS recommended. Phillips, if you don't have one, maybe look into getting some. So we'll get that started now. And on these push pins, you just push, there's a center button on these, and you just push them in, and then the whole thing pulls out. So that's the first thing you want to do. You'll hear an audible click when that happens. Okay, so you're gonna want to take a stubby screwdriver and take out this Japanese Industrial Standard, but not before you remove the push pin, which sometimes can be a bear, but this one came out real easy. And the way these work, you can see. So when you load that back, you put it in like that, slide it in, and then you just push the button in. Then when you're trying to take it out, you push the button all the way in, and it allows it to slide out. So that's that. Now that we have both of those out, there are some clips on the top that tend to break, and I'm going to try not to break them, but I don't know how I can avoid it. And there's rubber grommets that hold this side cover on. All right, so let me show you guys how this works here. So this cover is kind of a little bit of a bear to get off, just because it's on there pretty tight. And you got these two tabs right here that tend to want to break. Mine didn't, unfortunately. And then you got the two rubber grommets right here that hold the rest of the body in. And then this is where the screw goes in, and the push tab goes in here. So hopefully you guys can see that. But anyhow, just be really careful and notice that these tabs are facing down. So if you kind of give it a little push up and pull, it pops and makes a pretty loud noise. So it's unnerving, because you don't want to break the cover. I know it probably isn't the end of the world, but it is nice to keep everything nice. So I've got that off now. All right, so these are both 12 millimeters. This bolt and this bolt. I'm gonna, actually this is a nut I think, but I'm gonna use a 12 millimeter wrench on this top one, and then I'm gonna use a ratchet on the bottom one, ratchet and socket. So we'll get this one off, and then we'll get this lower one off. And this bracket should fit right on here with little or no effort. I'm going to go ahead and put this lower bolt in first. I always like to make sure I put a little Loctite on these. It makes me feel warm and fuzzy inside. And plus, if we're hitting some tough trails, we don't want those nuts or those bolts vibrating out. So let's do that right now. Now you're just going to want to assemble everything back in reverse order. Make sure you get these tabs in without breaking them. also wanted to point out too that there's another little button tab right there that kind of goes into a spot on the side. So you want to make sure you hit all those, and then those should just pop in. They go in a lot easier than they come out, let's put it that way. I always find myself working on the ground when I have a perfectly good lift. The problem is I have a motorcycle on the lift. That is my problem. Too many bikes, not enough room to work on all of them. So now I'm left working on a bike out here on the concrete on the ground. Standard story of my life. There, and she's back together. Well folks, that's gonna about wrap it up for this video. Hopefully this helps out. Hopefully it encourages you to maybe do some modifications on your CT125. Let me know in the comments below. I want to modify my bike, but I don't want to do anything. I want to kind of keep it factory. I like the look of it. I like what they did with it this year. I like the color. So I am going to add some guards and stuff to it. But other than that, I think I'm going to keep it relatively stock. It's going to be a run-around bike. I've got plenty of big bikes. I don't need to bore that one out. I'm going to keep it small and reliable. If you haven't yet, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, hit that bell for notifications. Check us out at Instagram at ManCave_Mayhem. And just remember, folks, I'm just a man in a cave causing mayhem. Thanks again for watching.